reality is we are facing an America that is waking up. They are dying to the wokeism and they are awakening to what is real.
Hello, Latanya. Hello, everyone. Well, what a week.
Wow.
I feel like I'm still on that roller coaster since the election night. Man, it's been crazy.
But Kathy, I don't know if everyone else noticed this, but the clip that you showed, it only went like 2 seconds.
I know. I'm going to show the rest of it.
Oh, you're going to show the rest? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Trying a little bit new, not having a big old long clip in the front. And so we can get started and tell you that we're going to have a great show.
Yes.
It's packed. Absolutely packed. There has been so much that's happened this week and so much revelation.
Yes.
So much revelation. It's unbelievable. So we're going to get started. Stay tuned.
Yes.
Welcome to Faith and Freedom Fridays, where we explore the godly way to vote with faith and integrity. Here are your hosts, Latanya Evans and Kathy Ryan.
Woohoo!
Yay!
So, how is everybody?
Yes.
Are you tired? Are you exhausted? You're overwhelmed? Are you let down? Are you inspired? Are you encouraged?
I know. All of the above.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Angela.
Chris.
Hi, Connie.
Hi, Keith.
Rosie.
The outboard dad.
Hi, Keith.
Hello, Rosie. Stacy.
We got 10 people watching. That's awesome. Thank you guys for supporting us. Please like and subscribe and share this video. We want to make this go viral. We want to inform people. Because one of the things that happens, and this happens a lot, especially with conservatives, is we won the battle. We won. Yay, we won.
Mm-hmm.
We can't stop fighting now. Most of the time we stop. Okay, we can rest now. No, we cannot rest. We have to push through. We have to continue because I will tell you, they're fighting big time. Big time, big time, big time. So, it's crazy out there right now. Trump is hard at work. He didn't waste any time. I have a clip of Luke Ball. Luke Ball traveled with him the last week of the election on the campaign trail. And that man does not sleep.
Are you talking about Trump? Are you talking about Trump? Yeah.
Trump does not sleep. And he had firsthand experience with Donald Trump. And I'm going to play that clip tonight. But yeah, he just, he 77 years old, 78 years old. However old he is, he can run circles around me.
So you know what that tells me? And by all means, we know he likes McDonald's.
Oh, yes, he does. He loves those Big Macs.
So by no means are we advocating, for that. But he keeps it's like if you don't use it, you lose it. And this man, he is just, he plays golf. Golf is pretty active. You got to swing, you got to focus, you got to all of that. And what else? Just how I'm sure he keeps his mind stimulated by the things that he reads and keeps involved and all of that. So the whole notion that yes, we all age, but it's all how do you want to age? That's the thing. Ask yourself that question. We all age, but how do you want to age? So wow, woohoo! Look at the eye. We got 14 people watching.
Oh, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay. I got to find if this live is going. I'm streaming to Rumble for the first time.
Okay.
And is it going? It is. Yep, it's going. It's going. All right, cool.
All right.
All right. Got to pay attention to that live chat because if we have anybody over there, 2 people are actually watching over there on Rumble. So that's really cool. Thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe, even over there on Rumble. We appreciate all of you. So I'm going to show that the rest of that clip. That was one of the things is that, you know, it's the impact that we had, guys, the impact that we had on America and the election is huge. So that opening video, he is a pastor in Texas. He is also a state assemblyman in Texas. So they have a Christian in their legislator. They have a few Christians, but and his name is Nate, and don't ask me to pronounce his last name. I couldn't. But let me share the rest of that clip with him because it's impactful and we still have work to do.
We are facing an America that is waking up. They are dying to the wokeism and they are awakening to what is real. And we're looking at a president, you know, our future president, Donald J. Trump, who truly answered the call of conservative populism across our nation. And I think the mainstream media doesn't know what to do with the fact that America is finally speaking their voices, even down to our minority populations in South Texas. We look at precincts that have never gone Republican, have awoken to be Republican. We look at our swing states, how Donald J. Trump won every single one of those swing states. And what I would say is, I've had pastors tell me, well, maybe this will give us a seat at the table as the church to be able to speak into those policies. And what I would say is we absolutely are getting a seat at the table. I believe Donald J. Trump is more ready to allow pastors to have a seat at that table. But my warning to them would be this: do not get comfortable, because for all of those swing states that we won, we also see abortion that also won on that ballot. We have so much work to do in states like Arizona. The reality is, I do not want to see this conservative populism wave that has swept our country turn into a godless populism wave, because we would do no better than Rome did if that is the case. And we are not Rome. We are a constitutional republic founded on Christian principles. And if pastors don't continue to speak up, if pastors don't continue to let their voices be heard, then this populism could go in the other direction as well.
Wow. You're muted, LaTanya.
Yes, he has a point.
He does. And Christians are notorious. They won the battle, so they quit. I can rest now. I don't have to do any more. Well, yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. We don't, I mean, let me ask you, as Christians, the Great Commission is to go out and spread the gospel, to make disciples of nations. Correct? Isn't that what the Bible says?
Yes. That is the Great Commission.
Yeah. So if we're to go out and do that, do we stop doing that? Do we ever stop in our Christian's life? When we gave our life to Jesus, that was a call upon our lives to go out and spread the message of Jesus, the message of love, that God loves them, God saved them. He had given his only begotten son to die for us, so we wouldn't live in fear. We wouldn't live in poverty. We wouldn't live in sickness. He took all that to the grave. We wouldn't be oppressed. Let me tell you, people, we've been oppressed without realizing we're in oppression, because our government has been oppressing us, and especially more than the last 4 years. So Donald J. Trump may be our president, and he has a lot of work to do, but don't you think that he's not going to get some resistance along the way? The devil doesn't want him to win. Whatever is God's, the devil wants to take out. Think about that. Whatever is God's, the devil wants to take out.
Yeah.
And how does he do that? His number one weapon.
Well, I think one of the ways is lullabying his people. In other words, sleeping and just thinking, okay, sleep on the job. Yes, this was a great victory for everybody. They just can't see it yet. And the battle is not done. It's not over, I mean, it's really just begun.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. The battle has begun because we woke up. Hi, Rosie.
Hi, Rosie. We need to pray for his safety.
Donald Trump, yes.
Because he is going against deep. Yes. And they will stop. Well, we know they already stopped at nothing when they tried to kill him.
Right.
Can't get no deeper than that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, and I don't think that's going to stop. I don't think that's going to stop it. He's safer now because he has the full force of the Secret Service and not a portion of it. But who he's putting in his administration, people in our government are balking, including Republicans. Now, there was this big little fight and a secret vote that Mitch McConnell, who was the majority Republican leader of the Senate, he's a rhino, Republican in name only, but he's part of what's called the Uniparty. He sides with the Democrats and the liberals and on a lot of stuff. So it's the old world, old school Republicans that they don't agree with the MAGA movement, Make America Great Again, which if you represent people in this United States and they elected you, why wouldn't you want to make America great? Because you're going to lose your power? Is it going to lose your special interest paychecks? You can't secretly do your corruption. And now this Senator Thune that has been elected as the Senate majority, he is a crony of Mitch McConnell. He says he's going to back President Trump and the Make America Great agenda, but do you trust that?
And who is it?
His name is Senator Thune, Thun.
Okay, is he appointed to his part of his cabinet?
No, he's not part of the cabinet. The Senate,
okay.
The Senate, just like the House of Representatives, so the majority party votes on the Speaker of the House. Well, actually, all of Congress does. But the Republicans usually, whoever's the majority, it's going to be a Republican or Democrat. So in the House of Representatives right now, the Speaker of the House, because we have a majority House right now, even in Biden's administration, is Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson hasn't made the greatest of decisions since he became Speaker. He became Speaker after they ousted Kevin McCarthy. So same thing in the Senate. They vote on who to be their majority leader. So it happens, there were three guys, John Thune, John Cornyn, which are both Mitch McConnell cronies, and Rick Scott of Florida. President Trump wanted Rick Scott. He never came out and said it, but a lot of the people that he is putting in his administration came out and said they back Rick Scott for majority leader. He is a MAGA guy. He's a Make America great again guy. So, but a lot of the senators, they voted now for John Thune. Well, these are the people that are going to be confirming President Trump's cabinet. So, and I got all the positions I did have. Where is it? I had, that's interesting. Is it in the other account? You know, what were the cabinet positions that needed to be confirmed by the Senate? So let me find that. Because, I mean, everybody's having a meltdown over all of this. The mainstream media is having a meltdown. MSNBC and CNN, MSNBC has lost 50% of their viewership since their ratings have gone down 50% since the election.
Wow. Wow.
Here it is. I'm going to share my screen. So these are all the cabinet members that have to be confirmed by the Senate. Hi, Shireen. Okay. So these are the cabinet positions. Secretary of State, which he nominated Marco Rubio from Florida. Secretary of the Treasury, I don't think he's named anybody there. Another one that the media is losing their hair over is the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth is, he's actually a Fox reporter, commentator on Fox News, but he's also was a major in the Army. And they're saying that he's not qualified to be the Secretary of Defense. He's a military guy. Why wouldn't he be?
They're saying he's not qualified. Wow.
He's not qualified. And Obama, Bush, Clinton, I don't know, it goes back years. Their Secretary of Defense never saw combat. He's seen combat. Who would you rather be leading, you know, and taking care of our military than somebody that has seen combat?
Exactly.
Knows what it's like to be in combat.
Wow.
So they're all up in arms with him. So that's going to be a tough confirmation. That's why he really needed the majority, and he needed a leader in the majority to get these people, you know, confirmed. Another one is Attorney General. He nominated Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is a congressman out of Florida. He's also an attorney, and he's no nonsense. And people don't like him, and he's stepped on some senators' toes, you might say, over the years. But he's absolutely no nonsense. And we need somebody in the Department of Justice to clean it up.
Right.
So they can't use it against us. Because what they did to Trump, because they didn't agree with his views, they can do to us.
Wow.
So, but these are all the things. Oh, and the other one that they're having a heart attack over is the Secretary of Health and Human Services.
So do you think they're going to, so that one, there was something that was posted, and it was very friendly and easy to look at. And it was basically all the people that Trump has picked so far. It had, okay, which ones need Senate confirmation and which one doesn't. So the Secretary of Health and Human Services, does it require Senate confirmation?
All of these right here do.
Okay, what about the position that Elon Musk is taking over? Or isn't that a developed position?
That is a developed position. It's it's not actually the Department of Government Efficiency doesn't exist right now. It's something that Trump is creating to go through and advise him on the efficiency of the government, pretty much, which we all know that our government's not efficient.
So that's something that the president can do. He can create these positions. Okay,
Yes.
but when he leaves office, then they go away.
They can go away, yes.
Okay, or they can stay.
Right.
Okay, because isn't it Elon Musk and what's the other guy? He's a young guy as well.
Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I saw both of them together. Okay.
Yeah. So the other one they're having a meltdown over is the Secretary of Health and Human Services, which is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And he already said he was going to go in and clean house. And we have some clips on that. So let me stop sharing. And then what he plans to do. I think it's this one. No. Here you go. It's this one. All right. I think it's this one. Well, this is part of it.
Americans have been crushed by the industrial food complex and the drug companies who have engaged in deception, misinformation, and disinformation when it comes to public health. The safety and health of all Americans is the most important role of any administration, and HHS will play a big role in helping ensure that everybody will be protected from harmful chemicals, pollutants, pesticides, pharmaceutical products, and food additives that have contributed to the overwhelming health crisis in the country. Mr. Kennedy will restore these agencies to the traditions of gold standard scientific research and beacons of transparency to end the chronic disease epidemic and to make America great and healthy again. I think this is a great look for Robert F. Kennedy and also Donald J. Trump.
Okay, that wasn't the right one, but that one was good. And that's one of the things that he's going to do. This is the one. Yeah, this is the one that I wanted to show you. So the first person in this clip is the head, or the director of HHS now. If you didn't know who he was, this is who he is.
Care is life-saving, medically necessary, age-appropriate, and a critical tool for healthcare providers.
I asked God for 19 years to put me in a position where I could end the chronic disease epidemic and bring health back to our children.
So he wants to go in and clean house. Right, you're muted, LaTanya.
Sorry.
Yeah, that is, his name is Rachel Levine. He's transgender. Was in the military.
But Is so, Kathy, is that the clip? The one that I sent you that was talking?
It's part of it.
It's part of it.
Yeah, there's other parts.
Wow.
I got another one. So, yeah, here's one.
On the impacts of climate change on health. We're working on environmental justice.
Not only do the chemicals pollute our bodies the same way that they pollute the soil, but corporate interests have hijacked the USDA's dietary guidelines. We're going to ban the worst agricultural chemicals that are already prohibited in other countries.
When it comes to making sure kids are healthy and happy, I know how important care that affirmed someone's true identity can be.
Yeah. They focused, our Health and Human Services in the last 4 years only focused on transgender. Can you tell?
Wow. It's
This is why we got to go ahead, Latanya.
I have to admit, I didn't know when me and Kathy were talking, I did not know that person was over our health department, health and agricultural department, health and human department. I did not know.
Health and Human Services.
Health and Human Services. And to hear him, well, yes, I did get it correct. To hear him say what he said, that's so scary. And it's almost like it's a conspiracy to they want to keep Americans sick and dependent upon drugs.
You got that right.
Medication has its place. It has its proper place it has its proper place. But the way, no. Oh my goodness.
Well, here's what has happened. Since the 1980s, before 1985, you would not see any commercials on TV about any pharmaceutical drugs. None.
Since when?
Since 1985. Before 1985. It all started in around 1985. And so you start seeing these pharmaceutical commercials, so it becomes big money. And if you want to know where a news program, where they're leaning as far as if they're going to be conservative or liberal, look at the commercials and who is supporting them. Because if it's big pharma, there's a lot of money going in there, and they have a lot of pull on what they will tell you. So like during the pandemic, the pharmaceutical companies such as Moderna and Pfizer sponsors CNN and sponsors MSNBC. What did they push? The COVID vaccine. And they're still pushing it.
Still pushing it.
When it didn't do anything, it didn't work. People still got COVID, they still died. It doesn't work. And we don't even know what kind of harm that vaccine is going to do to people. And I unfortunately got it based on my doctor's recommendation.
Oh.
I got the first shot and the second shot. I didn't get any boosters after that. No, I'm done with it. So don't be standing there like a big old peacock. Go.
Big Bird.
You don't want to be called Big Bird. So get my husband standing in the doorway, and I didn't get any. And he never had COVID, which is true. He never had COVID. My mom and I both had COVID.
And you got the shot?
And I got
you got
shot.
or
And I
they
almost
say
died.
the jab.
Well, actually, I got the shot after I had COVID. He told me that it was a good idea to have it. And so I did. But yeah, I got COVID in 2021, in January 2021. It took me, 3 months to get over it. I got double pneumonia. And they wouldn't put me in the hospital, but I think if they did, I would have died. So I stayed at home and they loaded me up on steroids.
Wow.
So
people that died in the hospital didn't die because of COVID.
So yeah. So it's all about greed. It's all about corporate money. And when these lobbyists back these candidates and give them campaign money, they expect things in return. Oh, this bill's coming up. It wouldn't be good for us. Can you vote no? Oh, this bill's coming up. It would be good for our interests. Can you vote yes, no matter what's in it? And that's how things have been working in government, which is not good. Not good at all.
Yeah.
So I got another clip. It's lengthy, but it has to do with Robert Kennedy. I haven't watched the whole thing. I've watched parts of it, but it's really good. So I'm going to share this with you.
Happy Friday. Welcome to Frontlines, 5 o'clock here on the East Coast. Here are the top 5 stories we didn't want you to miss. In Athens, Georgia, the bench trial for the illegal immigrant accused of killing Georgia nursing student Laken Riley started today. Jose Ibarra is charged with murder. The Venezuelan migrant waived his right to a jury trial. Plus, several GOP lawmakers want to strip of Congress, by the way, want to strip the security clearances of 51 intel officials who worked against Trump in 2020 by claiming that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. Yeah, right. And Democrat governors are teaming up to form a group to oppose the Trump administration. Gavin Newsom, of course, is trying to safeguard democracy. He's on the agenda is abortion, which is in fact in the hands of the states now, and the other is illegal immigration, which I find hilarious because when Biden was in office, his administration sued states who tried to enforce immigration laws, but because they said it was a federal matter. But now that Democrats lost, they're trying to make it a states matter. These people are idiots. Anyway, plus Tucker Carlson, who once promoted Zyn nicotine pouches, is now call me old school. But what's making me want to go a few rounds right now, and you know who else looks like he's ready to rumble? The new head of HHS, RFK. Let's do this.
That's where I was getting at.
Oh, it's the most wonderful time of the... Hey, RFK, check on some of those big pharma stocks, shall we? Ooh, yeah. They're all down today because the former Democrat, a Kennedy no less, the guy who institutional scientists have tried to destroy and discredit, they tried to cast him aside. That guy is now going to lead America's health department, and I am here for it. And if you listen to the legacy media, you would think Trump appointed like some weird alchemist, like a mad scientist, but he didn't. What's RFK really about?
Oh, you want to know that the food that you're feeding them is not filled with chemicals that are going to give them cancer and chronic disease. And don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
Damn right. And perhaps all the critics should take a step back for just a half a second and actually listen to what the guy is saying, because I agree with him. Because according to Harvard, nearly half of America is obese or well on their way to becoming so. America takes the cake for being the gladiators of gluttony in the world, folks. And because of that, heart disease is the #1 killer in the country, killing more than 3 million people a year. According to the new AP article, the fluoride in our own drinking water was found to cause lower IQs in children. 50% of the ingredients in the food we eat is banned in Europe for severe health concerns. And that's according to a PhD over at Kansas State University in Manhattan. Seed oils have no negative inflammatory side effects, and yet they're in nearly everything we eat, according to a peer-reviewed study available on the National Library of Medicine. CNN even says we consume a credit card worth of plastic every single week. And the very doctors and institutions, the legacy media, and all the experts calling RFK crazy are the very people that got nearly everything wrong during the very crisis that they are designed to protect us from, COVID, like ivermectin.
Popular podcaster and mixed martial arts celebrity Joe Rogan announcing today on Instagram he contracted COVID, but says with a mixture of medicines, including the controversial horse dewormer that has poisoned hundreds of people nationwide, he's now recovered.
They ran that crap wall to wall, and then what happened? Turned out ivermectin was actually good for COVID. You could do this with almost all the advice from the experts and the institutions. Masking, social distancing, shutdowns, whatever. So what do these people turn to? RFK is going to ban vaccine. Is that really what he said?
I just want to make this clear. I don't want to take vaccines away from people.
Well, right.
I don't want to impose my choices on the American
I
public.
understand.
If vaccines are working for you, you ought to be able to get them. And I'll make sure that that happens.
In fact, I found over 30 instances on different occasions where RFK said the exact same thing. He's not anti-vax. He's pro-informed consent. I've realized liberals can't be informed. But RFK, I think he's offering very reasonable medical reforms here, like challenging why there are 25 vaccinations for a little child before they can even walk. I mean, show him the data that is a good thing. And then he'd be like, fine, okay, let's go. But RFK was one of the first people to raise his hand during COVID and say, hey, wait a minute, guys. Why do I have to wait 55 years for a FOIA request from the federal government to release a data on something that they're mandating everyone to take right now? It seems like a legitimate question. In fact, RFK has won a multitude of health-related lawsuits. You talk about qualified. He won one about vaccine safety data release long before COVID even happened against HHS, ironically, the agency he will now be in charge of. He proved in court that safety data reports were never submitted to Congress as per the law over a 30-year period. RFK also beat Monsanto in court, had them pay $290 million in damages to his client from the effects of the weed killer Roundup. He was called crazy during that, but in the end, he was right. What's even crazier is that, according to the CDC,
I just want to pause right here. So Washington's having a meltdown. The media's having a meltdown saying that there's no way that he is qualified, that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is not qualified to be the director of the HHS, and that he's a conspiracy theorist. But he's proven that he knows what he's doing. He's an attorney. No, he's not a doctor, but he's an attorney that has represented people for lots of different health reasons.
Right.
So to me, that makes him qualified.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. I didn't think, I was...
just a little sidebar there.
Yeah. Okay.
the chemical is now found in the majority of Americans' urine. Even after we know it causes cancer. Hello, where the hell is the FDA on all this?
Wow.
Nowhere. RFK won a historic case against the FCC guidelines of 5G and wireless. But in the back of that tiny, tiny little leftist brain, I think all these people know that RFK does know what he's talking about. So they attack him on this.
If we're being intellectually honest, there's really no good reason why Bobby Kennedy, RFK Jr., should be HHS secretary. An advisor, a confidant, somebody who talks to the president and advises, but there's no managerial experience in his resume. There's nothing that says he is qualified to do this job.
They also had a banner up that said, conspiracy theorist nominated. That's nice to throw that out there as like a banner, CNN. But what theory has he had that has been disproven? That's on you guys. And not qualified? Oh, really? This seems to be the pattern here. They said this about Pete Hegseth. They Fox, Elizabeth Warren, a Facts and Friends weekend co-host, not qualified to be the Secretary of Defense. Now the same woman is going to the next extreme, saying, quote, RFK poses a danger to public health, science, research, medicine, and healthcare coverage for millions. He wants to stop parents from protecting their babies from measles, and his ideas would welcome the return of polio. I have a lot of questions for his Senate hearing. Oh, do you know who else was called unqualified, Elizabeth Warren? George Washington. He was denied a commission in the British Army because he was not considered officer material. The British were the experts at the time. And how'd that work out? Who was the expert 5 years later, Elizabeth? What is qualified to these people? A Harvard degree? Oh, wait, well, hold on. Pete Hegseth already has that. Would it be, maybe winning millions and millions in lawsuits in your field? Oh, wait, RFK already did that. What were the qualifications of any of the people Biden put in? No, seriously. You Democrats can't define what a woman is, yet your Assistant Secretary of Health claims to be one. Your moral compass and your professional compass couldn't hit water if you fell out of a boat. And RFK is not qualified. Are you kidding me? And the crazy thing is that RFK has offered to debate anyone, anytime, anywhere, on any topic with any moderator for anything that he advocates on. And yet no one who disagrees with him has ever taken him up on it. But this Senate hearing will be that opportunity. I'm waiting for Elizabeth Warren to pop that first question. He is going to own her. It's going to be epic. I'll bring the mic to drop. Also, nothing RFK is saying is that crazy. RFK's own ad is like really reasonable.
Our big priority will be to clean up the public health agencies like CDC, NIH, FDA, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Those agencies have become sock puppets of the industries that they're supposed to regulate. President Trump and I are going to replace the corrupt industry-captured officials with honest public servants.
Corrupt industries, honest public servants. You know why people like Pocahontas are freaking out at this? Look, here. Oh, that's why on your screen right there, because, quote, pharmaceutical companies and their lobbying groups gave roughly $1.6 million to lawmakers during the first 6 months of 2021, with Republicans accepting $785,000, with Democrats accepting $776,000. Don't believe me? This is...
Now tell me it's not about money.
I have to say this. Everyone, this is such a shame what is happening, because I pretty much I would probably bet on this, and I don't bet and do that. But the pharmaceutical and all these people who are pushing it secretly, they know what RFK Jr. is saying. They are doing the right thing by themselves. They are doing the right thing by their families. But pushing, but when it, and that's it, Angela. The love of money is the root of all evil. You can't tell me that these people, they know, if you probably go to their house, or if you knew I guarantee you they're probably, they doing all the things that RFK is saying not to do, but yet they pushing it out to the people. And to me, that's horrible. That's horrible.
It is horrible. And see, the thing is it goes back to, we, the silent majority, have stuck our heads in the sand and not wanted to pay attention to all of this. This has been going on for decades. This isn't something that just happened in the last 4 years. This is something that's been going on for decades. Mm-hmm. And we let it happen. We, the people, are the government, guys. We, the people. We just set a huge mandate with President Trump. He's got a lot to do. We spoke loud and clear.
Yes.
That we are tired of this stuff and we want him to fix it. And with these people that he's putting in place in his cabinet and in these positions of power, they're going to be loyal to him and going to be loyal to us, because they are everyday, hardworking Americans. You know, Robert F. Kennedy, he's the black sheep of the Kennedy family. They don't like him.
Wow.
He doesn't stand for the establishment. He doesn't stand for the swamp that his uncle, Ted Kennedy, was involved in for decades before he retired.
Right.
You know, it just, we got to be more informed. We got to pay attention, and we got to speak up, whether it's sending emails, writing letters, making phone calls to the Senate. We need to make our voices known. Call your senator. Unfortunately, my senators, both of them are Democrats. They're not going to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
But you in red states that have Republican senators, call. And I'll look up.
Maybe that's what we can do. The next time we can put up like, the senators in every state.
Yeah.
So people can know who they're sending and have their names and their emails and their phone numbers. And then people can take that, and so they can have it. I think that'll be a good thing.
There is a website.
Oh, okay.
Find your members of Congress. I think it's senate.gov.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, here, Senate.
I was trying to look for a pen. Senate.
Yeah, senate.gov has everything on it. It should have leadership and officers. Yeah, this should. Here, I'll put this in the chat.
Okay.
Wrong one.
When I need a pen, I can't. Oh, there's one.
There it is. So yeah, senate.gov. And then Shireen, could you find the White House phone number or the Capitol phone number? I don't know where it is. Okay. So let's get back to the more good stuff.
Okay.
Because this gets good.
All public finance information. The big pharma gives billions of dollars to politics. You can view this all on the FCC website yourself. Go take a look. And it's not like RFK wasn't on stage with Trump. Like, people knew this was happening. He said it from day one. We voted for him anyway, because most of America has seen that every single time the experts have tinkered with our health guidelines or our health care system, they have made it worse. Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, was neither good for healthcare nor made it affordable. We listened to all the experts during COVID, and what did we get other than 40 new pharmaceutical billionaires? A destroyed economy, companies paying out billions in damages for adhering to CDC recommendations for vaccine mandates, more chronic disease, lower quality food, a decreased life expectancy, while being governed by the very people and the very institutions like CNN and Elizabeth Warren are defending. We have a CDC and an FDA that has never cured a single disease, yet has granted out billions of our tax dollars to companies to develop therapeutics and oftentimes enjoy no liability whatsoever, but all the profit. And I'm supposed to trust you guys? We spend 17% of our GDP on healthcare. It's 1/6 of the world's largest economy, and yet we are getting sicker. I think I'll take the word of this 70-year-old man, probably fitter than most 20-year-olds today. Thank you very much. Adam Lamb, healthcare consultant, and Carlin Coker, Chief Executive Officer of Medical Director at Peak Wellness Incorporated. All right, Dr. Coker, this is something that people are like, we have a bunch of fat people telling us how we should eat, and no one wants to listen to the fit ones.
Look, it's bad, and we are the greatest country. We are the greatest country. We are the USA, and I don't know why we're not leading the entire world on this. I mean, the food additives that are banned in Europe there's a plethora of them in foods, throughout the shelves, and it's astonishing to me. It's been like that for years. I mean, you take artificial coloring agents like red dye number 3. I mean, this has been shown by the FDA as early as 1990 as being a carcinogen. It causes cancer. Yellow dye number 5, yellow dye number 6. You have white pigmentation with titanium dioxide, which damages DNA. We know it damages DNA. Why is that in the food? I mean, it's baffling. It blows my mind. I can't understand it. There are so many different things. I mean, I could go on and on, but propylparaben, it's a preservative. It causes fertility disorders. And you know what? There's a litany of fertility disorders, a litany of cancer. And it's not just because of early detection. It's because our food is screwed up. And where are these people? They're sleeping at the wheel.
Yeah, they're not looking out for us. But Adam, the left is really not taking RFK's appointment. So look at this meltdown.
This is the cabinet that you nominate to not to run the U.S. government to do anything, but to destroy the U.S. government.
Well, America, I hope you like measles. I can't think of any single individual who'd be more damaging to public health than RFK.
People will die, and I'm not. Again, I wish I was just being hyperbolic. I'm being literal. People will die.
They've been saying this for years about anybody who tries to reform the precious healthcare industry.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is there's about 7 or 8 major companies that make food, and they make food for Europe, and they make the same food. They make it in America, but they make it different. So to solve the problem is just, hey, what are you doing over there? Let's do that over here as well. They're already capable of doing it. And then it's also looking into other modalities, things that RFK Jr. has talked about, stem cells, peptides, some of these other things that may be other therapies that some of the big pharma, some of these major government agencies that want to suppress and get out of the way for the American people. And that's a shame. One of my favorite things he said in this speech right here you have on the screen is where he said he's prayed about this for over 20 years. And it's awesome that he's getting the chance to do it because I think there's so many Americans that have been praying for chronic illness. They've been praying for healing. And the reality is we're in an environment that's avoiding that. And someone like RFK stepping in is going to be an absolute game changer for the American people, opening up the doors to what's possible for better health and health optimization and making it available from an economic standpoint for everybody as well.
Yeah, but Dr. Coker, the other thing, the other side of this is you have, he has a record of practicing what he preaches and also winning lawsuits. He's done all these things, but yet people are still fighting this. And it's like they're not even realizing that the more the government get involved with anything, education, we went from first in the world to 30th now with the Department of Education. Health, we have a lower life expectancy than places that mandate you basically eat beef. I mean, why are we having this conversation at all in negative light?
Look, look, RFK Jr. has been astonishingly internally consistent. If you go back and you listen to everything that he said and everything that he said through and through and everything that he's acted on, he has been internally consistent. And what happened to the days that we could just disagree with each other in a healthy way and, have a debate? I mean, this is what we do in medicine all the time. Now, all of a sudden, a doctor, my colleagues, they speak out, they might say something different, they might question what's going on, and all of a sudden that's misinformation. We don't have those kind of terms in medicine. Misinformation. We chew the fat. We bring it. We debate it because medicine is not a perfect science, and then we arrive where we need to arrive based on evidence-based medicine. And this is what we should be charging towards. And this is what RFK is trying to do. RFK Jr. is trying to say, hey, let's put some light on this and let's make some sense out of it and let's act on it.
Yeah. But Adam, real quick before I let you go, the bigger issue is we can't have that conversation. They shut it down. They never have a debate on the merits. Like I said, no one's ever offered to debate RFK publicly.
And this gives us a chance now with him in charge, with his leadership, aligning himself with people that are practicing this. Like myself, I've been in the health optimization optimization hormone, peptide stem cell over decades, right? And so knowing what these modalities could do for the American people, but it's very hard and not accessible for most people because it's not spoken about. And now it's time for the conversation to come mainstream with better food, better water, better healthcare, and a more aware America of what's possible with their health instead of living with a chronic disease that they could maybe actually get away with instead of having a drug to mask it for until they die, right? And so this is the time. It's a new dawn in this country. I'm so excited that RFK Jr. is here in this position to help serve, and I'm just excited.
Yeah, that's going to be a great one. Adam Lamb.
I tell you, I'm just smiling, and I am just like, I'm like, God, thank you. Thank you. I mean, because that's where the glory, and the honor goes to. Thank you for having mercy on us. Thank you for your grace and your mercy on us, which we don't deserve. And and I just say, and I'll say it again, these next 4 years, we should really it's kind of like, how can I say it? It's like the atmosphere is set, for things to be kind of a reset and not be so hard. And when I say atmosphere, I want to make sure I'm clear. I'm talking about like the government. Maybe I shouldn't have used that word, but meaning like how the government, is set. It ain't perfect, but President-elect Trump is trying to do all that he can to set things up, and they know it. They know it. And on a really serious note, he's really trying to, because he knows he's not. That's why a second term sane person can be very, as some would say, dangerous, because they know they don't have to, they can't handle the truth. Exactly. They know that he can't run again. So now what he's going to be sending on is his legacy. With the legacy, he's already broke a record that's going to go down with him. So a legacy, and hopefully to set up Vance, who could come after him.
Yeah, I saw a meme on TikTok about the 2028 election with Vance as president and Candace Owens as VP. Wouldn't that be cool?
Now say that again. What?
JD Vance is running as president in 2028, and his VP is Candace Owens.
Oh.
Now, Candace Owens did say a few months ago, I mean, it was too late for this election, but she said she was going to run for office. So if she runs for even a Senate seat or a Congress seat, and she can run in 2026.
Wow.
That's it. 2 years is not a very long time, guys. So that's why we can't let up. We can't let this momentum derail anything that Trump wants to do in his 4 years. But if either the Senate or the House switches back to Democrat after 2026, he can't get anything done. So that's why it's so crucial. These next 2 years, he's going to get things done, and I know he'll get a lot done. He's working like crazy. In fact, here is a clip. This is the one from Luke Ball. Luke Ball is a political strategist in Washington. He's a Christian. I think this was it. Maybe not. Okay. Hold on a minute, guys. I got to find that clip.
So, Angela, I just want to say that is so funny what you said. I'm going to put that up while you're...
No more McDonald's for
No
Trump.
McDonald's for you, Mr. President. That's kind of here you have this most healthiest person running your health and department, and then you're eating McDonald's.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, you can eat McDonald's if they get rid of all the preservatives. If they clean up the food, then you can eat McDonald's. If it's clean food.
But then it won't be McDonald's.
It'll be better.
It'll be better, right? No, right.
Yeah,
yes, we do need him healthy. Absolutely.
Yes, we do.
Maybe we could start it could be a campaign. Mr. President, no more McDonald's, no more, unless it's clean. Unless you could,
Right. Okay, I found it. So this is what he had to say. So I can set this up. Luke Ball was with President Trump the last week of his campaigning. He was on the campaign trail with him, and and he talks about that experience. This was really good.
Okay.
I was on the road with President Trump the entire last week of the campaign. I was flying around on Trump Force One. We were doing 15, 16, 17-hour days. It was ridiculous. The last night of the election, we landed back in West Palm Beach at like 6 a.m. and all the staff's falling asleep. They're like bouncing around the airplane. And Donald Trump is back there in his little spot holding court for everybody else that was awake. This man does not stop. And then when we landed, we got off, got a couple hours of sleep, went and voted over in West Palm Beach where he normally goes to the polls. And then we watched the returns come in, and I tell you what, it was exciting, but it was also very nerve-wracking because some of these states take so long to come in. But when they called Pennsylvania, a cheer went up, and I was backstage with President Trump when all of this came together, and he was not celebrating, pumping his fist. He was like, let's get out there, let's go to work. I've got my speech, let's go talk to the people. He was getting ready to go to work on day one, literally.
Wow.
That's our president.
Let's just take that in for a second. Wow. And Shireen, I think you were it was, what was it? We didn't get a chance to show it, but basically what he seemed to have exercised was, it's a scripture that talks about how, in other words, not to be boastful.
Mm-hmm.
There is a scripture that talks about that. Now, if you are amongst others who agree, or you are on the same page like a lot of us are, then it's like, okay, and I understand we want to be, because this is going out to the masses. But to me, wow, that says a lot about the man.
Yeah.
That, I mean, seriously, that says a lot about the man. Wow.
Yeah. In my career, they talk about a lot of that, being healthy, because real estate's not an easy business by no means. And if you don't set your boundaries, this business can run you 24/7. But the high achievers, and there's always those top agents, the high achievers, their whole life is just basically real estate. They live that way. They get very little sleep. They work 16, 17-hour days to make that fortune. And, Trump didn't become a billionaire by sitting with his thumb in his ear. What are we going to do? He had to be a go-getter, and he went out and got it. He got it. So, and he approaches everything in life that way, everything in life.
Wow. I'm just, that's really, wow. And this was somebody firsthand, up close, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I really think that, and President Trump elect has said this, where he really feels like this is what he was saved for to do,
Mm-hmm.
preserved to do, because he says, I just, like I say, we don't know, because a lot of times things are, are said that he's not saved, he's such a horrible, all this stuff. And I'm not saying we would get into that, but I hope that he has. And I
Right.
still say this, just because he still may be having some rough edges and some things that he, is saying, if this is something that's maybe he has given his life, and he has, well, just like any babe, they got to grow. They have to grow, just like, and I go back to us. What's our excuse?
Mm-hmm.
Us who have been, we say, well, I'm saved, I'm a believer. Okay. So then how long have you been saved? Oh, maybe 10, 15, 20 years. So then why do you still do some of the things that you do? Shouldn't you be, but then, compare yourself up to maybe a babe in Christ and expecting them to be, that's
That's why Jesus said,
something's not right with that.
That's when Jesus said, when they wanted to stone the adulteress, is those without sin cast the first stone. And they couldn't. They all walked away. Because no matter how far along we are in our walk with Jesus, we're just clay. And God's molding us. We are not going to be perfect until we get to heaven. But we still have that human mentality. We're humans. That's why, God wanted to have a relationship with every single one of us. But it was obvious from the time of Adam and Eve that humans were not going to be perfect. They could be deceived just the way Adam and Eve were. And that's, we can be deceived as well. Look at half the nation right now. They are literally deceived by the enemy, thinking that abortion's okay, thinking that transgender is okay, thinking that having a homosexual relationship is okay.
It's okay.
And according to God, it's not. He cannot have a relationship in the presence of sin. That was the reason that he gave us Jesus. That if we accept Jesus as our Lord and Savior, and that we believe that he died on the cross for our sins, and that the perfect, pure lamb was sacrificed for us, so we could have that relationship with God our Father.
Yeah, right. Without Jesus, it's impossible. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. And yes.
So when we're looking at Donald Trump, we don't know that he hasn't given his life. I think he has, especially since he got shot. I think he has. I don't know for sure, but who are we to say? You will know them by their fruit. A person doesn't have to tell you, I believe in Jesus. You will know them by their actions. You will know them on how they walk out in faith. You will know them by the things that they do. Yes. And no, that isn't going to be perfect. None of us are. None of us are.
I like how Pastor Tony says in the prayer group that I'm a part of, he says, I think there's going to be a lot of surprises in heaven. People that you think is not going to be there, and people who you thought was going to be there are not. And that's very humbling. That's very humbling, That's really something to think about. Like, ooh.
I can
Lord,
tell
I
you
wanna
from,
make it.
I can tell you that coming close to death, because I personally did in 2023.
Right.
I came near to dying by a couple of days. If I hadn't gone to the hospital, I would have been dead. It changes you.
Yeah.
The reality of eternity being that close changes you. I'm not afraid to go. I'm not afraid to die. I'm not afraid to go and be in the presence of Jesus. I'm not. That would be great. What I didn't want was to leave the people that I love behind. I didn't want to leave. I knew I still had a purpose on this earth. And at the time, I didn't really know what the purpose is. My purpose is a work in progress. But that was my fear, was leaving, especially my son, behind without a mother.
Yeah.
So you reflect, and I imagine Donald J. Trump reflected after he almost lost his life.
Yes.
By millimeters.
Milliliters.
If he hadn't turned his head, he wouldn't be our president, or our upcoming president. The way the world's acting right now, he's president.
Yes. Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah. This is good. Wow. It's like, okay, let's just all go. Wow. Go into singing hallelujah. Bring Shireen on and she starts singing and lead, and let's just start. Seriously.
Yes.
I mean, that is, I have, like you just explained, just as you gave your testimony just briefly about that, I have no doubt that this man, just because he is, I mean, how can I say it? He's a man, and Donald Trump is the way that and so I just, yeah, I have no doubt. I really do believe that something happened, a
Yeah.
millimeter, something happened, and we don't
You
have.
saw. I'm sorry. You saw the change in him after it happened.
You could tell, just, I mean, something, and we don't have the privilege of knowing people's heart like God does. We don't.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't.
We
I
don't.
mean, yes, how this, you would know them by their fruit. We have these different, but God knows the heart. He knows the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I do hope that he has. I really do. I really do, because he has really, I don't know, out of so many presidents, maybe since Abraham Lincoln, I don't know, but have really, like, just, I really do believe this man really loves this country.
Mm-hmm. Well, Reagan,
And he really want to do what he can to really make some things better. I'll say that.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
think we've had a president who's really loved this country since Reagan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you go back, and if you guys haven't seen that movie Reagan with Dennis Quaid, you got to see it, because you'll see the correlation between what was going on in the United States. It wasn't to the extreme as it was today, but back then, what was happening, there were wars, there were hostages being held, the economy was in the toilet under Carter. A lot of things were happening, and Reagan had the same fight, and he's not a politician, just like Trump's not a politician.
Right. Yeah.
President Reagan was an actor and a businessman. who happened to run for governor of California and then run for president.
Wow.
And so when I was watching that movie, I'm like, that's what's going on today. This is Trump. This is America now. You know, and I was a teenager. Actually, the 1980 election was the first election that I could vote in. I was old enough to vote. I was 18. So it was my first election to go vote in. And I remember what's going on. And I told the story before. The gas prices were ridiculous. Well, it was a gas shortage. And we could only fill cars up on uneven days depending on our license plate. So on those certain days, my U.S. history teacher, he would send a couple of us girls to go fill up his car during class on those days. And then the McDonald's was right there, so we'd bring him back a hot fudge sundae.
Oh.
Yeah, we were teachers' pets. No, I mean, I got an A in that class because I earned it. I loved U.S. history. Can you tell? I love it. So,
wow, full circle.
Yeah.
To what you're doing. Yeah.
So, yeah. So with that said, we got some more clips. So yes. We've been talking about, the ongoing fight, and there is going to be an ongoing fight. And so I'm going to share this clip. This is another one with Luke Ball. And then we'll do a couple of clips on this. And then we have we'll switch gears here coming up, where a high school student, what he did in his classroom will amaze you. And this kid, he's got parents that are raising him right. That's for sure.
Wow.
So where is it?
Let's see.
What Luke is saying, although there is also an element to this that feels like it's not over. I keep having to pinch myself because for so many of us, ever since 2020, we have fought and fought and fought, and everything in our lives, I hate to say it, not only professionally, but also personally, everything was through the lens of what the future of our country could look like as a result of the election. So while I am obviously gleeful that the election is over and we know that at least for the next 4 years, freedom is in charge, there's still a bit of an element to me that I have to keep reminding myself that while that fight is over, the fight still goes on because, there's been, I hate to say it, there's been a dark cloud over what a lot of us do, especially as we work in politics. But things are settled, and it kind of feels like, when you have a Christmas gift that's coming, but it doesn't arrive in time, so you get a printed out picture of it in a gift bag. We can see the picture of what the next administration is going to look like. We just don't have it yet, but it's coming.
That wasn't the exact one, but that one was good.
Yeah.
So, but what she said was the fight goes on, and we cannot let up, guys. We have to keep fighting and keep fighting.
Yes.
Okay. I did that one. Okay, where is it? All right, I think it's this one.
Okay.
His ratings are declining and thinks he has some sort of influence, and used the last clip on his YouTube channel to beg the American people not to vote for Donald Trump. Nancy Pelosi, who is now out of power but tried to use her influence in the back room to swap out Joe Biden at the end. All of these people at one point in time seemed insurmountable, either within the media or in the Democratic Party or in the past 2024 election, and all of them in some form or fashion have been defeated. It is a David and Goliath situation.
That wasn't it either.
That wasn't it, but that was good too.
Yeah, it was good.
Wow.
Here it is. The responsibility of Christians.
Oh, okay.
usually I write these down on a list and make notes,
Right.
but I had to write 3 offers today, so
Woohoo.
which is good, but it takes time.
Right.
I'm glad you brought it to that point, Luke, as Nate's talking about the whole thing with the pastors and our responsibility as Christians, not just pastors. Our responsibility in America here in these next few years is immense. If we really do want to see America turn, we can't do what we normally do, is go, hey, we got our guy in as president, and just, dust our hands off and move on. Your thoughts?
Yeah, a lot of times we say like it's a political race or we have to get across the finish line, which, connotates the fact that it means that we can rest at the end of it or that we are done at the end of it. We are very far from done. This is never going to end. You know that this race that we talk about is not something that ends unless America ends. And if that happens, it means that we failed. This race that we run in this mission field of politics is ever going and is always continuing. There's going to be an endless amount of opportunities here. And I love what Nate was just saying there about conservative populism versus just general populism, because we know what happens when just the will of man reigns supreme. We have bad things that happen to our society. And I just go back to thinking about the people over in Hollywood who were saying Donald Trump will never be president. And you get into these echo chambers over there in Hollywood. It's kind of like here in Washington, D.C., and you hear all of the things that your friends are saying, and all of your friends are involved in liberal progressive politics, and they basically have this clique over there, and they are treated with such respect and dignity on these movie sets and in this culture that they really legitimately feel like they run the entire world. And then they get smacked with reality whenever they have the Republican president get sworn into power, not just once, but twice in their lifetime, that they said would never be president of the United States. So if you start to get that sense of mentality where it's like man's populism must reign supreme, that's when lies start to replace truth, and that's when you start to basically cover your eyes and you allow the wool to go over your eyes. We have to keep our eyes on this sense of a Christian conservative populism, because I think that's what's going to take hold as we start to see change radically happen in our country.
That's the clip.
Okay. That was good. That was good.
We can't let up on our Christian values, the Christian populist values. We can't go stick our heads back in the sand at all. And here's the reason why. This is what's happening in our schools, guys. I want to show you this teacher. She went on a rant, not in the classroom, but on social media. She went on this rant after Trump won and about killing Trump supporters. This is a teacher.
Oh, wow. A teacher? I haven't seen
her. Yeah.
Wow.
Still spiking the football on liberal meltdowns. A Connecticut teacher, Ann Dunleavy, remember her name, has resigned after a video of her went viral threatening to fight and kill people who voted for Trump. Weird, she didn't call me, huh? And now she doesn't have a job, and she's apparently sorry.
I am so sorry that you had to see that side of me, because the only side of me I ever wanted you to see was what you saw and what I did for your kids and what I did for you. And I hope that I was always a support and always did everything that I possibly could for you. And I promise you that I intended to, and I did everything I could to be there for the families and the parents, and just how sorry I am.
Jury's out on that one. Take your crocodile tears somewhere. Try them with someone else. Ain't working here.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry you saw that side of me that I didn't want you to see.
Wow.
Well, you shouldn't have that side of you.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. She didn't get her job back, did she?
As of now, no. But that doesn't mean if she quietly resigned that she won't get another job somewhere. I'm sure if she came to California, they would hire her.
Wow.
Yeah, you just
wow.
And she's not the only one. There's been a lot of teachers out there that have are teaching kids their views and not liking Trump and all of that. And here's one, and this is the one. This is the clip of the high school kid. And it's really good.
Okay.
Is he taking away from women?
You don't like your race. He will spit on you. You don't even like
What right is he taking away from women?
Your body, my choice. That's what did.
Why do you need an abortion? Why do you care about abortion? You're in high school.
It doesn't matter.
You're in high school.
Women get pregnant. Women our ages get pregnant.
Is you getting pregnant? Is you getting pregnant? Did you get pregnant once?
I shouldn't have to fear that though.
Are you even you're probably a virgin.
So buckle your seatbelts, get your life insurance ready. I want y'all to watch this clip because it's insane what these students and this teacher is doing. Roll the clip.
I don't even like you.
What right is he taking away from women?
You don't like your race. He will spit on you. He don't even like
What right is he taking away from
He
women?
don't like y'all. He don't like none of us. He doesn't like Mexicans. He don't even like his own race.
What right is he taking away from women? Y'all still not answering my question.
that.
I've
You're
been
just
asking for
dumb.
like 5
We
minutes.
answered it.
But what was the
We
answer?
We answered it.
Y'all brought up education once I asked that question. Because y'all don't even know what y'all talking about. Y'all just go on Twitter, look at what they say, and just run with it.
Myron, you go on Twitter. I watched the debate. I heard everything.
Y'all thought he was taking away abortions. He can't even do that.
Myron, what debate did you watch?
Proud of that young man.
Wow. So you probably know what's happening in his household.
Yeah.
Wow. Very intelligent. Yes.
And the teacher goes on, and I didn't do the whole clip because it's kind of long, but the teacher goes on and says that, you know, you shouldn't be demeaning and calling people out and all that stuff. And the kid, he wasn't calling them out. He was just like, where are you getting your facts? Because Roe v. Wade was federal government over the control of the states. In other words, the people didn't have a choice. So overturning Roe v. Wade did not take away a woman's right to an abortion. It didn't. People, come on, quit listening to the lies. You know, I have friends on the other side who say they're not for Trump because they want freedom over their body. Well, Trump is not stopping you from having freedom over your body.
Yes.
If you live in a state that you can have an abortion, you're fine. If you don't, you want to have an abortion and you don't live in that state, move to another state. People, you have freedom to choose.
Right.
Whether it's right or wrong, my opinion doesn't matter at this point. We're talking about the right to choose women's bodies. And I'll go toe to toe with you over the abortion thing anytime you want. But President Donald Trump did not overturn women's rights to have an abortion.
No.
He turned it back over to the people to vote on it. Majority rules.
Well, there it is. Wow.
So, yeah, that was good for that. Good for his parents. You know, he's going to have some great parents. That's pretty awesome.
Yes. And to stand up to his peers.
And his teacher.
And his teacher. That's not, you know, the most easiest thing to do.
No, it's not. No, and he's right. And that girl, I feel sorry for her because she's been fed a bunch of lies She has been told that Trump is taking away her rights as a woman. You know, it's just like, what is that 4B movement going on right now of these liberal women not having sex for the next 4 years to give it to Trump. You know, they're protesting. They're not going to have sex for the next 4 years. Well, good.
Oh,
that means you won't be having babies.
Yeah.
Please tell me, I pray, I really pray. I pray for these kids that have been so deceived in colleges. They're the future generation, but I can tell you that Gen Z is waking up and has had enough. And that's my son's generation.
Yeah.
They've absolutely had enough. So, but yeah.
Wow.
So, I got one last clip. And this is quite funny, actually. After this 2016 election, the Democrats put together some states, a coalition of the Electoral College. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to let Carl Higbee explain it to you. It's short, but I just like, you people are so dumb.
Oh my. Okay, let's see this. Oh my goodness.
They're so dumb in our favor. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay.
So we'll leave this as a laugh. What did I do with it now? Where'd it go? There it is.
Oh my goodness.
And cool in the summer.
Well, that. All right. I didn't edit it. Sorry, guys.
That's our Black Friday thing, a little tidbit I found. Did you
appointment? Call before December 2nd. 1-800-514-3600. That's
okay.
1-800-514-3600.
I forgot. It'll start here soon.
All right, here's some that since Donald Trump won in 2016, as of today,
17,600. That's 1-800-514-3600.
Maybe we'll get a
there we go. Since Donald Trump won in 2016, as of today, 17 states have signed on to the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. What the hell is that? Well, according to Ballotpedia, quote, the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact is an interstate compact initiative to award member states electoral votes to the presidential ticket that receives the most votes nationwide, or the popular vote. Ain't that cute? This is the electoral map from last Tuesday, Trump taking 312 to Kamala's 226. You see those states in blue? Almost all of those signed that pact, which means if Democrats really meant what they said and they had any integrity whatsoever, they must, according to that pact, award their electoral votes to Donald Trump, making the real electoral count. Hoa! Look at that. 520 to Kamala's 18. What? So what do you say, Dems? You want to live up to your word? After all, according to the website.
So basically, this coalition says that the populist vote will give their electoral votes to the president that won, which means that all the blue states that signed that coalition pact, including California, has given Trump 520 electoral votes.
Wait a minute. It's okay, Kathy. Roll it back. When did this come out? And what does this explain this again? When did this just happen? Are you just
2016?
So what did
I'll play it again.
Remember states' electoral votes to the presidential ticket that receives the most votes nationwide, or the popular vote. Ain't that cute? This is the electoral map from last Tuesday. Trump taking 312 to Kamala's 226. You see those states in blue?
So basically, because Trump won the popular vote,
and
they said because the candidate won the popular vote, they're going to give their electoral votes, their electoral college votes, to the winner of the populist vote. Because that's been the thing of the Democrats, is that they say to get rid of the electoral college and only go by the populist vote. Well, they're thinking that this pact will actually help whoever had the populist vote get more electoral votes.
Okay, let's put a pin there. So remember back, even though like they say that it was, rigged. So during 2016, when Hillary won the popular vote and Trump won, the
electoral vote.
So were they doing this then?
No, they came up with this pact after the 2016.
So if this would have been in 2016, Hillary would have won, right?
Assuming so, yeah.
So moving forward, if a person gets the electoral vote, they're going to also look at the popular vote?
That's what they're saying in this pact.
So is that necessary?
I don't know if it can be, I don't know if it's constitutional. I just thought it was funny and stupid.
Okay. See, I was thinking
because it backfired.
I was thinking it backfired this time for sure. But okay. Okay, how I'm trying to say this. So last election, who won the popular vote last year? I mean, the last 4 years.
Biden.
So Biden won and he won the electorate. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So why? So moving forward, like this election we just had, we were actually looking at 2. Then did he have to get the electoral vote if he got the So what if a person wins the popular vote? You see what I'm getting maybe a little confused.
Well, yeah, it's confusing because what they're saying is they have the option of giving their electoral votes to the person who won the popular vote. So if Kamala had won the popular vote,
right, but didn't get the quote, the electoral vote,
then the states that have signed this pact could give her the electoral votes, and it's possibly that she could win with the electoral vote.
And then it would have been possible she could have won with the. Oh, okay. So basically, looking at, I see what you're saying. So because President Trump won the electoral and he won the popular. And when you switch it over, oh my goodness, it's over. Wow. Wow. Look, it only left one. What state did it leave?
I think there's
almost all of those signed that pact, which means if Democrats really meant what they said and they had any integrity whatsoever, they must, according to that pact, award their electoral votes to Donald Trump, making the real electoral count. Hoa! Look at that. 520 to Kamala's 18.
So Virginia, and what is this one here?
Virginia and Vermont. Is it Vermont? Or no, it's NH.
It's New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. So New Hampshire, So you know what this even tells? New Hampshire is more liberal than California. New Hampshire and Virginia.
No, they're not. They're not as liberal because they stayed out of that pact. It's the liberal elite states that went into that pact. So, Washington, let's see, go back. So yeah, so the states that are in that pact are Washington, Oregon, California, Colorado, New Mexico, Minnesota, Illinois, New York. I can't read that. This one up here. Is that Pennsylvania? I don't know.
I'm not for sure.
And Maine. Is that Maine? Vermont's in there too. So anyway, so I just thought it was funny.
Wow. Now that is a red overload abundance. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought that was funny. So it's a funny note on how desperate the left-wing Democrats are. So yeah. Do we have any questions?
We did have a question. I'm going to scroll back up all the way. Wow, this was good. The impact we are making. Wow. Okay. I think it was early on, the question. Let's see. Amen. Yes, that is true. I just wanted to put this up. That is true.
Yeah. That's
true. Yes. That is true.
So with that said,
we
Monday
did,
night at 7.
We did, Kathy. Did you see the question?
No.
Okay. There was a question. It was back. I remember seeing it. It was a queue. I'm trying to go slowly. Okay, let's see. I think I'm coming up on it. I think I remember the question. I think.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, you found it?
No.
Okay. The question, I want to say it was, who, it has something to do with McDonald's when we were talking about that.
Okay.
And I think the question was, who owned McDonald's? Like, I think that was the question that was asked.
McDonald's is well, it was founded by Ray Kroc, and there is a documentary on how McDonald's got started, but McDonald's now is a corporation and they sell franchises. So each restaurant is independently owned and operated.
Oh, okay.
So not one person, not one specific person owns
not one.
McDonald's.
Oh, not one specific person. Okay.
There is a McDonald's corporation, and then, you know, everybody has to adhere to the franchise requirements.
Okay.
But you know, it's expensive to start a franchise. You got to have like $2 million in the bank, liquid assets. You can't, you just, if you're broke and you think, oh, I'm going to go start something. No, you can't do that.
You can't. Wow.
No.
Wow.
You gotta have millions.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was the question. It was who owned McDonald's. And yeah.
Yeah. So,
okay.
With that said, so
well,
Monday night, I will be going over more of what Newsom's meltdown is and his tyrannical garbage that he's spewing already. He went to the White House yesterday asking for money.
He did. Who did?
Newsom.
Gavin Are you Newsom. Serious?
Yeah.
He went to the White House asking for money. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. He asked for billions of dollars for this stupid fast rail train system that I told you from LA to Las Vegas. I had mentioned that before. So he asked for more money when he's already gotten billions from the federal government, and it's not on time. And I think it's a disaster. So I don't even think they've really started building it.
Do you think it'll be good for the for California?
Well, it'll be good for Las Vegas. I don't think tourists are going to leave Las Vegas to come to LA, not the way it's sitting. I wouldn't. You know, more Californians will take off for the weekend because it's only a couple hour drive to Las Vegas.
Right.
You know? So, yeah. But even Las Vegas, I mean, it's last time I was there in 2022 for a real estate convention in Las Vegas. And because of COVID and being shut down, everything got super expensive.
Oh, wow.
You know, it used to, you go to Vegas and you get the free buffets and you can get free rooms and stuff like that. Vegas isn't the same.
It's not. Okay.
No, it's not the same. I mean, there's a lot of attractions. It's fun to go in and out of the casinos and see how they're built differently, and, you know, the different themes. And it's like you go in the MGM and it's the Emerald City. So you see the Wizard of Oz. You go into New York, and it's all themed of New York. You're going in there. You go in the Paris hotel, and everything's in, you know, like France and Paris. You go into the Venetian and you got gondola rides. And I don't know what is going to go in where the Mirage, they're tearing down the Mirage, and that's where the White Tigers were. Siegfried and Roy. So I don't know what's going in there, but it was cool to go in there. You can go in the Mandalay Bay and go to see the Shark Tank.
Oh, wow.
I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff. The M&M factory, the Coca-Cola Museum. There's a lot of fun things to do in Vegas, and you don't have to gamble. But there are things to do.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. So yes, Monday night, 7 p.m. Pacific time, I will be on California News and Newsom's meltdown and all the garbage that he's trying to do now.
Wow. Well, we will be there. Let's support our sister on Mondays. Faith and Freedom Talk.
Yes. So thank you so much for subscribing. Guys, please go to my Rumble channel and subscribe to that. Let's help get onto Rumble because I have a feeling that is going to be the wave of the future as far as conservative talk is going to be on Rumble.
Yeah.
So, wrong one. There you go.
Yes.
So it's Faith and Freedom Talk on Rumble as well. So, and subscribe to Real Talk, Real Solutions. I'll put that banner back up. LaTanya's channel, my channel, and Tired and Loopy. I know I'm getting that way too. I'm hungry. It's time to eat.
I finished up my eating behind the scenes when you played me.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We love you.
We love you all. And until next time.
Yes. Be safe. Love you guys.
Love you.